It's a shame
Well,
we don't know any other Davids. Could you just be like, come in just for this one joke?
Yeah, we are quite rare breed,
I mean,
could
I
say
do
that.
know other Davids, but they just happen to not be free today, or this
Uh,
short notice at least.
that's fair. Oh well, at least there's still three of us.
Yeah, I mean, free peas in a pod, right?
Yep.
That's what they say.
I I have heard the saying before, yes. Okay, we are live. Hello there. How do you
Woo!
do, everyone?
Hello?
And
Oh,
we have a guest
hello.
today, David. Not the other David. Unfortunately, David proper
Ah,
couldn't be here today due to various circumstances, but we have another David to take his place. How do you do, sir?
Who?
Hi, I'm the other David. I'm doing good. I'm just, usually standing up for other Davids when the original Davids cannot go.
You are henceforth the AD.
Yep.
I am the assistant David.
Oh, exactly. Wonderful, wonderful. So, how are you, David?
I'm good. Yes, I'm just quite. It's weird being live. I've never been live, and this will be probably no, it won't be the first voice that will be on YouTube of me. But yeah, I'm good. I would say good. Yeah, let's just carry on.
Yeah,
Fantastic. And Amy, yourself? I mean,
I am good.
fantastic. Righto then. Um, so we tend to go for a few hours. So, David, I will absolutely give you the opportunity to hop out every hour. So, feel free to take the opportunity when you feel you've talked yourself to oblivion. So,
Okay, I'll see. I need to like can't go for much hours. I'll say that now because I need to go to work tomorrow. But I'll stay as
This
long
is
as
true.
I can.
all right, cool. I'll give you an opportunity at the top of every hour. So, don't worry too much about that. Um,
Yeah,
but
no worry.
cool. So, as is ritual, we like to start with what we watched during the week, talk about it a little bit, and then delve into the topic proper. So, as the guest, David, what did you watch this week?
I finished Clone Wars finally, which I started back in I think 2009, and I finished it this year.
Oh,
Nice.
geez, that's impressive. What did you think of it?
I very much enjoyed it. I think Dave Filoni is genius director in like this like animated TV shows. It was I very much enjoyed it. Like I don't want to say much to spoil it for anyone who hasn't seen it, but it's good. You should watch it, especially if you watch Mandalorian,
Ooh, I watched
because there's a
Nice.
lot
Mandalorian.
of connections. There's a
Fantastic.
lot of connections.
I have
So,
to start Mandalorian, but I'm gonna watch it soon because we're gonna talk about it.
yeah, in 2 weeks actually. So,
I better get on that.
you'll be done in good time. So, what are your thoughts on The Mandalorian, David, if you do watch it?
I do watch it. I really enjoy it. I think for me, Mandalorian, Clone Wars, and all the other TV shows are the best way to consume the Star Wars universe
Ooh.
because I like that it tells a big story in little doses so that there is like a big story, but you also have time for the little stories inside of the big story.
So, what you're telling me is you like stories.
I like the Star Wars universe, and I like that the TV show shows a lot of
Cool.
it that you would normally wouldn't see in the films.
Yeah, absolutely. That's fantastic. Lovely.
hmm
And Ami, what have you watched this week?
I rewatched Twister because my son is obsessed with tornadoes at the moment, and I was like, right, we're watching this film because you're gonna really like it. So we sat and watched Twister today, and I was just like, I haven't watched this movie since I was a kid, and it was very, very strange going back to it.
Sweet. Let me check something very quickly.
Check away.
Uh,
Check it out.
oh, I love Twister, by the way. I used to watch it all the time as a kid. So,
It's so good, am I right? I forgot there was a scene of The Shining in it though, which I was like, I'm gonna skip that before I traumatize my child with The Shining.
I mean, you can
I
traumatize them.
don't think I've seen Twister. I've
Have you not
seen
seen it?
movies that involve tornadoes, but I don't know if it was Twister. I was too young, I think.
Ah, fair enough. Yeah,
Oh,
Twister has Bill Paxton in it, and I completely didn't realize, but it has Cameron from Ferris Bueller in it as well.
I'm struggling to
Oh.
think who that is.
He's a character called Rabbit. He's the guy with all the maps all
Oh,
the time.
okay.
Yeah. I didn't realize who it was because, like I say, I watched it when I was a kid as well. So rewatching it as an adult, I'm like, oh, I recognize people now.
That's
Yeah,
always
I get that as well for a lot of films that I watched as a kid.
yeah.
And those random blurs of faces now I can connect them to different roles and to actually a character like a real person.
Yeah, it's almost like we have the ability to tell faces apart now and remember them. It's great.
Yeah, it's
I'm
crazy.
I'm s- I mean I'm not still pretty good at it, but I try.
Yeah, and you just realize just how many films Jack Black has been in the 90s and just
Yeah.
marvel at it.
You're like, dude got around.
Yee. Cool. So did you watch anything else or did you just watch Twister on repeat?
I mean, I only watched it once and it was today. I'm trying to think, did I watch any other films this week? I don't think I did, but I started rewatching Agretzko
Oh
because
Jesus, yes.
everybody needs a Gretzko in their life. Like, who doesn't love an angry red panda singing death metal?
Yes. Just oh, it's so good. um yeah, I think the only things I ended up watching was I'm all the way up to episode 5 of Mandalorian season 2 now. Like
Cool.
I know the new
Oh.
episode came out yesterday, but I haven't watched it yet.
Yeah, it is good. I think you'll enjoy it.
I'm kind of the one person on this stream who's just I don't like the Mandalorian.
But I think you'll enjoy it.
Alright,
If
I hope
you-
so too. I watch every Mandalorian episode hoping I like it, so I hope so too.
There's I'm not gonna spoil it, but there's a pretty cool stuff happening there.
Ooh,
And it's directed by Robert Rodriguez, which is like one
oh
of the best
yes.
directors of all time.
Oh, Laura Rodriguez. Spy Kids all the way.
Yeah. Machete,
Oh yeah. Sin
Planet
City.
Terror, and the Antonio Banderas mariachi film.
Yeah. Desperado and Once Upon a Time.
In Mexico.
Oh yeah, that too. Oh god, like I'd be so down to see a blind Johnny Depp shooting people again. That was just so fun.
It's amazing film. Like they're just the best films when you just want to watch action and not think much.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, that's about it, really. So, on to this little collection of films called the Lord of the Rings trilogy. Some of you may have heard of it. Well,
Maybe.
let me just quickly
I've
pause that.
I've heard of it once or twice.
Okay, okay. So So we already established this before we started, but you haven't seen them yet, have you? Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. I
No.
haven't seen them yet this year. I haven't
Okay.
seen
Yeah,
them.
to be fair, me neither.
I watched
I-
them one a night the past 3 nights. I literally like 2 hours ago finished Return of the King, and I'm like,
Oh,
oh,
nice.
I'm so ready.
And- I'm gonna have the important question. What cut did you watch?
Oh,
Did you
extended.
watch the? Of course,
Oh,
of course.
Like,
I just had to check. I
like,
just had
is
to
there
check.
any other way to watch it?
I mean,
I know people who watch theatrical cuts, so
oh Jesus, like they're wrong.
True.
Like, anytime someone says I watched the theatrical cut, I just go ew. Why?
as you know, sometimes you just I guess there are people who do not enjoy watching 4-hour films. So
I
we
mean,
we have to give that to them, though. You know.
yeah, I mean, some people are just allowed to be wrong, so it's okay. Um, yeah, I don't think I've seen the theatrical cut at all in like since they came out originally. So like since 2003, I've not seen them. It's always been the
Yeah.
extended cuts.
But
I did
look at
see
it.
them first in theatrical cut. Sorry, you go and you go.
It's okay. I was just gonna say, I kind of like to refer to my ex as like going through a divorce because we both had a fight over who would get the Hobbit trilogy and who would get the Lord of the Rings. And unfortunately, I got the Hobbit, so I got the bad end of the divorce.
Oh.
I mean, at
Oh.
least you got Legolas doing a Wile E.
Yeah.
Coyote, so
Got him with
Yeah.
his elf eyes.
And you got all the dwarves, and you know they're pretty cool guys.
Yeah, this is true.
they've got nice harmony. They can sing. They can swing an axe. There's a lot of positives to the dwarves.
They can use battle as a multifunctional transport tool.
Yeah.
This is
They're
very true.
fireproof.
Yeah, and they're able to woo any elf.
Oh yeah. They are popular with the elf ladies.
One of the 3 in the all films.
Yeah.
There's only 3 elf ladies in like all of the Lord of the Rings and Hobbit films now. Like
There are not a lot of women in the Lord of the Rings. Like it does
so-
not pass the Bechdel test at all. It's still a good film though. I still like it.
I've got issues with the Bechdel test, but we'll save that for another stream. But yeah, as far as women go, we've got Galadriel, we've got Arwen, we've got Tandriel. Is that the woman Evangeline Lilly from The Hobbit? I can't remember. I just remember
Yeah,
it starts with a T.
Tauriel.
Yeah,
Tauriel, that's it.
that's it.
3 elf, well, titular elf women that's actually got names to them. Most of them
Yeah.
are background characters, so yeah.
Just fine.
So if we take that sample, then we can say that the dwarves are popular with 1/3 of the elf ladies.
1/3 of the elf ladies that we know of.
Yeah. There's tons out there, we just don't get to see them.
Yeah. Like, that's why dwarves just dig, because they just are sexual magnets when you really think about it. You know, they gotta work sometimes.
I thought you were gonna say they just dig because they're sexually frustrated.
Oh, well, I mean, you can go that route too, I guess.
Because I mean, if you like dig all day, you're gonna have a pretty rocking body. So
This is true. There's also that. Anyway, I'm sorry we just delved off to The Hobbit. I just thought that would be a funny little tidbit to share.
Yeah, that's fair.
it's still part of the cinematic universe.
This is true.
Mm-hmm.
Are you looking forward to the Amazon show?
Amazon show? Question mark?
I guess.
Yeah, Amazon.
I mean,
Amazon are developing it, developing a Lord of the Rings show, and it's set in the Second Age, if I remember correctly.
Fancy.
I'll watch it.
I'll definitely give it a watch.
I'm easy. Like I just need to know
bet
that
you are.
it takes place in the Middle Earth, and I'm fine. I'll watch it.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at as well. It's like, I'll watch it. We'll see what happens.
You never know. You might like it.
Yeah, you never know.
I think I'll enjoy it.
It's Lord of the Rings, so I mean, I'm sure it'll be good.
They have some pretty good shows, so
yeah, absolutely. Okay.
We'll see.
Here's hoping. So, Okay, which of the films is your favorite then, David?
Ooh.
Two Towers.
Nice. And Amy?
I'd have to say Two Towers as well.
Ooh. See, it depends on my mood, but because I just
Fair.
saw Return today, I'm gonna have to say Return.
Okay.
But it's
fair enough.
I go Return, Fellowship, and then Two Towers. But ultimately, they're all fantastic, so you can't really
I, I,
lose.
li- I
True.
like Two Towers the most because it works as a separate film on its own
Yeah,
pretty well.
absolutely.
And I watch it the most as well.
Fair enough. I do argue that it does have the best castle battle as well at Helm's Deep, so
It's
I love that
good.
battle.
Me too. That's probably why it's my favorite.
Yeah, it's got like the best ending to the battle, like the
Mm.
charge of a 90-degree slope.
Yeah.
I mean, when you've got Gandalf leading you, you can go at any degree.
Yeah.
That is true. Yeah. And it chills. Like every time I just hear ride out with me,
Oh,
I'm in.
absolutely. Um, I, I guess the reason why I love Return as well, again, it's to do with the Rohirrim. Like, you've got King Theoden ready to lead the charge to the fields, and he's just getting all of his men to chant death just beforehand. Like, not many leaders can get an army to go, right, let's chant death and then go full force at an army. Like, I just love that scene.
It is well filmed scene. What I have to like give to Jackson is that he can like show the scale of the battle as it is. Like you see the scale of the battle like because he has these big wide shots of like all the armies, and then you have like the whole blob of Rohirrim, and it's like a lot of people. 6,000 spear, less than a half what I hope for.
Yeah. Oh, like, it's one of the few films where you've got large scale battles as we do get, but the scale is so appropriately communicated through cinematography. Like, I absolutely love the way Jackson managed to do that. It's fantastic.
Yeah, that's exactly what I wanted to say, but you said it better.
He does
Oh.
that.
Oh, thank you. I try. But no, you said it first, so you get credit there.
But you formulated.
Yeah.
nicely.
I don't disagree.
Yeah, so I guess in that case, a little bit more of a tougher question mark. Favorite character and why?
Ooh. See, that's not fair because I have two.
I have one. It's Gimli because
Gimli is great. I love him.
he's just like every scene with him just makes me laugh so much because
Yeah.
he always knows what to say at the right time or do at the
Yeah.
right
Yeah.
time. And I also love that he's just what's the actor's name?
John Rhys
can't remember.
Davies.
John Rhys Davies. He's a great actor.
Absolutely. And I
He's
love
very
every
good.
time they're in a battle, it's like him and Legolas are just competing with each other. I absolutely love that.
Him and Legolas are friendship goals.
Yeah.
Okay, Amy, I shall allow it. Two characters. Regale us with your two.
My two favorite are Merry and Pippin because, like, I just really enjoy them when they're on screen, even though they're not on screen very much. But I still
Yeah,
enjoy it.
they
I have a
do
smile on
have
my
a,
face.
they do have a good chemistry together as well.
They
Yeah,
do. I do
absolutely.
like
They've got a great arc through the story as well, and
them.
have a
Yeah,
huge
definitely.
impact on the story. So,
Yeah,
two good picks there.
Definitely.
they are like the best two of the four hobbits, I would say.
I
Oh,
enjoyed them more than
yeah.
Frodo and Sam. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Although it's very hard to dislike Sam when he says, "I can't carry the ring for you, but I can carry
Yeah.
you." So that's hard to dislike. Like,
Yeah. Oh no, I enjoy Sam as a character.
oh,
Frodo, like, I have to. It depends what mood I'm in. Sometimes I'm like, he's fine, I guess, and sometimes I'm just like, dude, you literally don't appreciate your friend very much.
I mean, to be fair, he's got this thing around his neck that's
This
slowly
is true.
murdering him, so I reckon anyone would be grumpy.
This is a good point.
Yeah, it's just basically a carrying device for the ring. Like,
Yeah, this is true.
he's a walking backpack.
Yep.
I mean, there's worse things to be.
Yeah.
Oh, fun fact, I actually have met Elijah Wood. He's a pretty chill dude.
Oh, nice.
Ooh. He's like, where did you meet him?
He was at Comic-Con in Liverpool this year, before everything went to hell.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
I was dressed as Morticia. It was great.
Do you need to like pay to meet them at the Liverpool Comic Con as well?
You usually do, yeah, but he was really chill because we were just like, we just wanted to come and say hi, and he was like, yeah, sure, come and say hi. So he literally, without making us pay, he just was really chill and just had us. It was cool.
Oh, that's cool. It's cool, dude.
That's the next film we gotta see. Frodo and Morticia together.
Yeah. It's really funny because my friend just wanted to talk about he was in a TV show called Wilfred, and she was basically the first thing she said to him was, "You taught me how to make a bong," and I was just like, "I'm not with you."
Yeah, I only know like 2 films. Like I know him only from Lord of the Rings and then from Sin City. Don't know if I saw him anywhere else.
He's been in quite a few films. He's been in like it's like a B movie horror called The Faculty, where like basically
Oh,
all the
yeah.
teachers turn aliens, and he's in that. He's just
Robert Rodriguez
everywhere.
film, actually. Faculty.
Yeah, it's a really good film. If you haven't seen it, you should check it out.
I'm not a big fan of horror films.
How dare you?
They're not for everyone. My partner's not really into horror films either, so.
I don't like to be scared because I'm scared in real life enough as it is. Like if the tram's going away and then you have to run for it and then you're scared that somebody will fall out of your pocket. I don't need to live that at home when I'm just chilling and watching a film.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, I know the
That's fair.
feeling of running after a bus, so yeah, absolutely.
Pretty scary.
It is.
Yeah, especially if you're late somewhere. You're like, oh no!
I'm gonna miss the meeting. No.
Yeah. And then you're kind of like, I didn't even want to go in the first place, damn it.
Thank
And then
you.
you just take it out on the bus.
Question mark. Cool, cool. Well, my favorite is the Boromir. Oh, love Boromir. Like,
Oh, nice.
top tier character, Boromir.
Also, one of the continuing trends of Sean Bean dying.
Yes. Which goes to show
Yeah.
Lord of the Rings is great because he died.
Yeah.
No
Yeah,
other
it's
reason.
That's all other films that he didn't die in were
Yeah,
also-
he
This is true.
doesn't die in National Treasure. He lives in that.
Nor does he die in Jupiter Ascending.
I have not seen that yet, but cool.
or
Good to
in
know.
the Sharp films. I don't know.
This is
Mm,
also
so-
true. Yeah.
I enjoy them because I like historic films.
Yeah. I like Boromir's character. He's quite nuanced, isn't he? Because he seems like a complete asshole at first, and then there's more layers to him, which I kind of like.
Oh, it's just he's probably got the quickest arc in Lord of the Rings, but
Yeah.
there's so much context throughout the films, and I'm just like, oh yes,
Yeah.
just give me more.
Yeah, it
Like,
carries
yeah,
over to the Return of the King as well. So
Yeah.
Mm.
I like that basically you learn more about him even after he's dead. Like you still get an arc for him in a way, which is I think pretty cool.
Yeah, and then you get to see him through other people's eyes, like especially when it comes to Faramir in The Two Towers. It's like, oh my god, Big Brother goals.
Yeah,
yeah.
definitely.
Cool. Righto then. Now, we shall start with the Fellowship of the Ring.
Ooh, let's do
I
it.
I do have the extended cuts loaded up, so feel free to use extended scene material. But what's the first thing that comes to mind when you think of Fellowship, David?
Oh, well, Fellowship of the Rings is my least favorite film because that's like it's the introduction to the world, and I like the setting up of the films. I'm not a big fan of those because I love films that just jump in the universe with no context. But
Fair
I
enough.
still love it as a film. What first comes to mind is the cave troll.
Oh
That's
God,
I
yeah.
Oh
was I
yeah.
was when I watched I watched this film first time. I was a very little kid, and it scared me. Like the
Oh.
cave troll scene scared me.
Well, fair enough, dude. Like, because I watched it when I was 6, 7-ish. So yeah, got me then as well. So
Yeah, I didn't watch it till I was like in my teens, so. But I can see how that would scare a kid. I think it would probably have scared me if I was watching it when I was younger.
Yeah, I remember I was watching it, and then I had the first two films on a VHS. I felt pretty cool because the first film
oh,
wasn't out yet, so I had the first two on a VHS, and I watched them all.
VHS tapes.
And I watched the second one basically out of the first two. I watched the first one on VHS, and then I was like, okay, cool. And then I just watched the second one over and over again.
I mean, fair enough.
But also, the first film has my favorite Peter Jackson cameo.
Oh God, yeah. In Brie, isn't it, by the Prancing
Dancing.
Pony?
Yeah, where he just shoves into that carrot. Like he really goes down on the carrot there.
Like he wanted that carrot.
Yep.
You can feel it snapping. Like you can feel it inside of your
Yeah.
heart, the carrot
You
snapping.
know
where
it's a good
Peter
carrot
Jackson
when
just
it does a good
bites
crunch.
into it.
Yeah, absolutely. And then like,
So that's what Fellowship of the Rings is for me. The cave troll and a carrot.
Fair enough.
fair enough. Fair enough.
Oh, 1 second, I just need to say goodnight.
Good night.
Tell me, Dylan, what does Fellowship of the Ring stands for you?
Okay, so the first thing will always be the Balrog in Moria, out when they're about to cross the bridge of Khazad-dûm. Like when I first saw the
Yeah.
Balrog, I was like, "Oh my god, wow!" So that's the first thing that comes to mind, and then the second thing would be the battle at Amon Hen, when like the group of Uruk-hai are just going after everyone, and like Boromir fighting, Aragorn just taking on a lot of them, Legolas being an absolute Chad with a bow. So those are the two things that really stand out to me in Fellowship that first comes to mind when I think of it. So yeah. And Amy?
For me, unfortunately it is a meme. It is the one does not simply meme that comes to mind. Also, I'm trying to think. Oh, I just had it in my brain and it's gone. Oh, the
no.
Nazguls.
Oh yes.
They really stick in my mind. They're so cool. Like when I watched it, they creeped me out, but I was just like, they're so cool. They're so cool and creepy, and I love them.
Yeah, they are like pretty prominent in the first film, and they are like the first proper bad guys we see as well.
Yeah, like I feel like they serve as a really good introduction of this is the kind of shit you have to deal with now because of this ring.
Yeah, got
Yeah.
like these invincible guys that you can't really see in their face, and they don't talk. They just do like sound, and
It almost turns into a horror movie for a tiny bit when they appear.
And it really sets the stakes for the power levels as well, because like we just started the journey with Frodo, and literally like an afternoon or a couple of days into it at Weathertop, he gets stabbed by the Mogul blade, and it's just like, oh, these guys are gonna
Oh,
have a really hard journey, so prepare thyself.
yeah. It's like, oh, they in trouble. And finally, you shall not pass. That kind of
Oh god, yeah.
is etched in my brain.
I think it's in everyone's brain,
I
to be honest.
Yeah.
also like the guy, the Hobbit guy that always like smiles and then frowns, with like the scene with the fireworks.
Oh
He's
yeah.
like laughing at the kids, and then his wife just like nudges into him, and he starts frowning, and he never smiles again.
I kind of to that guy a bit much.
Was it Proud Feet? Is that his name?
Proud feet. I think so. Or is it Proud Foot? I can't remember.
I don't know.
I think it's Proud Feet, but
I think
yeah. Like every time you see him, it's just like, oh, frown, 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 shake of the
Yeah.
head. The one time we get to see him smile, it's just, ooh, fireworks.
I mean, that's a mood, to be honest. Especially right now.
I actually heard quite a lot of fireworks outside of mine when I was watching Lord of the Rings, and I was like, are people like, what's going on outside? And I was like,
know.
well, it seemed close, so I didn't bother.
Isn't it like the bonfire night, or was that already?
That was like last month, so.
Oh, I've kind of
Yeah.
forgot everything about DK for the year and a half I was not there. So
I mean,
Yeah.
it wasn't
you
really
have to
worth
forgive me.
not really worth remembering to begin with anyway, was it?
I mean, nothing major happened, and Parliament didn't get blown up, so you know, why is everyone celebrating?
Is Sainsbury's still a thing?
It
Yeah.
is, unfortunately.
Oh, people got mad over an advert over here.
I've seen a bit of it. I don't know the full story. I just know what I saw on your Facebook and other people from uni Facebook.
Basically, people were complaining that there were a black family was included in the advert. People were like literally just saying they couldn't relate to it, and it's like, what are you on about? You can relate to carrots on the Aldi advert, so that makes absolutely no sense. So yeah.
Weren't there brown people in it as well?
Yeah, basically, people were complaining there weren't white people. I don't actually know if there were white people in the advert.
I've never
but
seen it.
I haven't seen it either. Just I know about it, and I was just like, really, it's ridiculous. It's an advert.
I was gonna say, like, if it's just brown people, I can understand, because even I'm like, yeah, screw the brown people. So
I can't say anything to that or against that because
it's alright. You have my permission to laugh at me. It's cool.
I'm not going to laugh at you.
Nope.
I want to laugh with you.
No, that's fine. You can laugh with me. Sorry. Like, words did not come out in the optimal alignment in that sentence, but you can laugh with me. That's cool.
I just find it really dumb that people are getting so wound up about an advert. Like, please, it's to sell you things, really.
I
just ignore it.
Bored of being inside.
I mean, they're not even really inside all that much, because I was walking past the park, and it's more packed now than it was before lockdown, and I was like, holy crap.
Oh, crazy.
Yeah.
Well, Lord of the Rings.
I know, right? Like,
yeah. We do this. We go on tangents
all the time.
Yeah. You come here for the tangents, though. Let's be honest.
No one stays for the actual content, just the tangents.
No. Yeah.
So we could go off talking about blueberries at some point, and we'll bring it back to Aragorn somehow. So
well, when we were talking about Lord of the Rings, ice cream got brought up.
Wait, how?
I think you were comparing the I can't remember which one it was, but one of the films you were comparing it to, you know, when you get offered like a taster for ice cream and it's not the flavor you wanted, something like that. I can't
Oh,
remember. It was
I'm
a
gonna
long
have to
time ago.
rewatch that stream because I can't remember what I said.
Yeah,
Yeah, cool.
things were said
Oh,
about ice cream.
things are always said about ice cream. The plotting
Yeah.
little bastards.
One thing I have to put one thing, like there's many things very good about this film, but I'm just every time I just want to say something, I say one thing. So one thing I want to, what always stuck to me as well in the Fellowship of the Rings is that last sentence when they say, "Let's go hunt some orcs," and
Ah.
why it sticks to me is because I was a little kid and I saw it was like, yeah, I want to see them hunt some orcs, and the second movie wasn't out yet. Like, oh, and then
Literally.
I waited like a year or two, or like quite a while until I see the second film.
Like I just spent the entire year rewatching like Fellowship over and over again, waiting for Two Towers to come out, and I was just like, "Oh, just give me the hunting orc scene, please."
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt a sec, guys. I just want to announce I just became an auntie. Woo!
Ah,
Oh,
congratulations.
congratulations!
Cute.
That's cool.
Uh-huh.
Is it a boy or a girl?
It's a boy.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Does it feel any different now that you're an auntie?
Not really. I mean, it's my partner's sister, and she has 2 kids already, so it's another one. And I have a child myself, so it's just kind of like, yay, more kids.
Just
Bring
another
them
one
on.
to remember.
Yeah, it's like they've got the subscription, and as soon as they cancel, they lose all the kids. God, imagine if that was the way the world worked. Like, you get a subscription for
That'd be
kids,
funny.
and then it's like, oh, it's
Like,
like
nah,
you missed a
nah.
month, and they just get taken away, and you have to resubscribe, and then you get different kids.
No, you get the same one
Oh.
because when I resubscribe to Netflix, I get the same account back.
Okay,
Ah.
okay. So what if you use a different email address?
Then you
Well,
get different kids.
You get different kids, but from beginning because you get like
Okay. Oh, we gotta get this cloning thing going properly, because if we're gonna be getting the same kids again, but from the start, then they're not the same kids technically, are they?
It's different kids from the start.
Okay, that
Like,
makes a lot
you
more
know, like,
sense.
when you use a new email to a new Netflix account, you have to clean slate. You don't have any my lists. You don't have any recommendations. So
True.
you have to like nurture it and make it grow.
I love how we're comparing Netflix to having kids.
I mean, isn't
You
it?
can compare anything
I
to
mean,
I mean, the only difference is you can't really cancel your subscription
nope,
without being frowned upon by society.
there is that, yeah.
So
talking about Netflix, right?
yeah. I mean, what were you talking about, David?
Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that I hear Lord of the Rings is in a subscription. I just don't know which one. So yeah.
I have them on.
It's,
I have
it's
I
on
have
Netflix, I
too,
think.
but I don't know if they're the extended edition. So
I
I
think
have
they are.
I don't
I
think
have-
that I don't think so.
I have my extended edition DVD from CEX that I bought while I was in UK for £10.
Oh my god! Like, was it the
Nice.
box set for each one?
No, I bought like the box. Yeah, it's like the box set for all 3 of them.
Okay, I used to have them way back in the day as well, but now that the 4K is out, oh my god! Like, I'm gonna sell a kidney and get those.
I don't have anything that can. I do have a thing that can play 4K, but it's not my computer. It's my girlfriend's computer.
Ah, I mean, you could borrow it for like a day at a time.
True. Just be like, please, I need to watch the 4K edition. And then I'll give it back to you.
I have it here, and she's in Italy, so.
Oh, but yeah, that may
But
be.
I don't have the Lord of the Rings in 4K, and I would not watch it without her. and she's gonna listen to this podcast, and she's gonna be on this podcast.
This is
So-
true.
She is.
This is very true. Who knows when
I'm
though?
excited. It could be any time.
Any day. It could be right now. It could be 2 years from now. It could be
She's
next
just
week.
gonna
Who
pop
knows?
up in the middle of the stream, just like, "What's up, guys?"
I am here.
We will see.
Yeah. Okay, so from the Fellowship, David, it is your least favorite. Amy, where does Fellowship stack up with regards to your order?
I haven't got any issues with it, but it's not my favorite. I think it would be a case of it goes Two Towers, Return of the King, then Fellowship. So I guess that means it is my least favorite one. But I don't have issues with it. It's just not my favorite.
I mean,
Yeah,
no one
same,
has
like,
issues with it.
They're all
Yeah.
they're all very good movies
Very true.
on a technical side and
Yeah.
on a story side, and
Yeah.
they're revolutionary in what they did for like post-production and visual
Mm.
effects.
hmm
And
Also, they definitely basically invented Dungeons and Dragons. So literally any time I watched Lord of the Rings, I immediately want to play Dungeons and Dragons.
Dungeons and Dragons have been around since Tolkien, the original novels inspired Dungeons and Dragons, and then the
Yeah.
films came out like 15-20 years later, so technically
Okay,
you're
well,
right.
To specify, not the films, but the book inspired it. So like,
Okay.
whenever I watch it, that's what I'm saying. Like whenever I watch it, it makes me want to play Dungeons and Dragons because I know it somehow is attached to that.
Okay.
yeah, well,
Cool.
every fantasy is basically, whether it's intentional or not, it springs for like Lord of the Rings, pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lord of the Rings, whether it is an inspiration, was inspired by, like, regardless, it has a big influence on fantasy fiction,
Yeah, like-
so...
Yeah.
Tolkien laid out like the formula, like the basic
Yeah.
formula,
And then loads of people just adapted it, which
Yeah,
is
just
really
like-
cool.
took parts of it and then made their own and added their stuff to it and stuff like that. And
Yeah.
I'm not the guy. I never read the books. I'm not the guy who talk about this. I just have a respect for them for what they did.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
I've not read the books either.
I've read the books. They're amazing.
Yeah,
Like,
I've heard.
I
I do want to read them. I just haven't at the moment.
I would, like, if people are interested in reading the books, I would warn them. They are hard to get into. Like, Fellowship in particular is my least favorite book, but it's arguably my favorite of the trilogy in terms of films, because, like, there is so much dense description that you're like, oh my god, like, I don't need to know where the plate is on the table, dude. Like, I'm cool with that. Like, there's that level of description in Fellowship, and
Oh wow.
it's helpful to know certain things in Fellowship because it really sets up everything that happens in the next two books, and they're a lot more brisk as a result. But Fellowship in particular is really hard to get into. But once you're done with Fellowship, the rest of it's a breeze.
Nice.
I don't want to. I'm not gonna read them because I have enough people around me who already read them. So if I just need to know some bit of information, I just ask them and they tell me.
That's fair.
This is a good way to go about it. Yeah, my partner before, he was just like, yeah, the films are pretty similar to the books. I was like, cool.
Yeah, like, there are only certain things that are changed, and even then, like, changed for the better for the film medium more than anything else, because, like,
Yeah.
a lot of people go, oh, they missed out Tom Bombadil, and I'm like, thank God, when the guy was there in the book, the pace of the story just stopped. So I'm glad he wasn't in the films. I'm one of those weird people.
Yeah. Honestly,
But
I have
he-
no
he
problem
was
with
in the game.
adaptations.
Oh my. Two people talked at the same time. I don't
Sorry.
know who.
You go first, Amy.
Okay, I was just gonna say, I have no problem with adaptations, and I feel like it's really silly when people are like, but they should keep it as loyal as they can, and it's like, but it's a different medium, so you have to kind of change it. You have to adapt it.
David.
Yeah,
That's what I was gonna say.
I was just gonna bounce what Amy said. Is like I agree with that. I like adaptation that are much more different from the source, because if it's like very much like the source, then I can just read the source.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's how I
But
feel as well.
one thing where I will say might not be good and might be challenged is the new Dune that's gonna come out. If it's very much the
Ooh,
same as the
yeah.
book, I'll be
Mm.
happy. But I want Denis Villeneuve, his surname. I want him. I want his visuals there because he's got that visual style. I think that's perfect for the book.
And from the trailer, it looks phenomenal. Oh my god, like after watching Blade Runner, I was like, oh my god, like watching Blade Runner 2047, no, 2049,
That one.
in IMAX, like it was so gorgeous and visually stunning. I could feel my face melt watching it. It was so good. Um, and then watching this trailer, I was like, oh my god, it's gonna look so pretty, and it's Denis Villeneuve, so you know the story's gonna be at least adequate.
Mm.
Yeah,
I shall have to check the trailer out. I haven't seen it yet.
and we do know that you can't really possibly adapt the whole Dune film because a guy tried before and
Oh
failed.
yeah, the David Lynch version.
No, I mean the Khodorovsky that was
Oh,
in.
before Lynch, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, H.R. Geiger was doing the artwork for that one as well, and some of the work was just like, whoa. A lot of what H.R. Geiger did for Blade Runner, the one before Lynch, actually ended up making its way to Alien, so hey.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, Fellowship is a pretty good film.
Yeah.
um, yeah, I guess one just before we move on, I guess one of the reasons why I like it as much as I do is because it really sets up the world.
Yeah.
Because like the next two films, because they are accumulation of like 7 hours, I want to know exactly the mechanics of the world, what's at stake, who the people are, what are the races, what are the conflicts, and all that. So I like all the setup because I know that the payoffs are just incredible. So I love watching how everything is just set up over the course of time. So that's kind of why I like Fellowship as much as I do. And plus, Boromir. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I just looked it up on Wikipedia and apparently Bruce Willis wanted to play Boromir. That would have been interesting.
I would have loved to seen that.
That would have been really weird,
Like
but
It's
also
imagine.
staying weird
great.
now, but maybe if it would be
Yeah.
like, Sean Bean wants to play Boromir, that would be weird.
Yeah, like imagine because Stuart Townsend was originally cast as Aragorn. Like you got Bruce Willis as Boromir and Stuart Townsend as Aragorn,
Yeah.
and like Sean Connery as Gandalf. I'm like, I want to see this
What?
film. I want to see this fictional film. um, is there anything else you guys want to talk about Fellowship, or shall we move on to is the Two Towers?
Move
Film.
on to Two Towers.
We can move on to Two Towers, I think.
The Two Towers. Well, I mean,
Ooh.
what a start! Straight in with the Balrog and Gandalf doing his fight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do like how it just starts off in the middle of a fight. Like it's like we've had the setup, here you go, now it's like boom, we're in the middle of fights.
I mean,
Yeah,
to be fair,
I,
like,
I like movies who do that. They just start in the middle and you don't have any time to watch around, but then you realize that something is amazing happening.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, Fellowship starts with like exposition, but we got
Mm-hmm.
the whole battle for Mordor going on with the elves and humans, and that was pretty epic.
Pretty epic.
Yeah, you've got that ego viewing, just ordering the archers to shoot everywhere around him.
Hell
That's
yeah!
a cool scene.
I mean, he also was killing a couple of dudes while looking very regal.
Very true.
Oh my, excuse me. So, I think we talked about it a little bit. Like both of you like the Battle of Helm's Deep, but what else do you like about the Two Towers? What stands out to you most?
I do like the scenes with Gollum in them. Because you just kind of know he's up to something. Like, you don't know when it's going to happen, but you're like, he is going to turn on them and probably try and murder them.
Yeah, that's yeah. We got like proper introduction to Gollum in Two Towers because in the first one he's not there much.
No.
They're in a flashback and then like in a bag somewhere we just see the eyes of him. Yeah, I also like that because it's like split up. I mean, Two Towers is so much things that I like, but like because the Fellowship is split up, it's like that's where the proper Gimli, Legolas, and Aragorn chemistry between them three and them two just like starts to build up, and you got lots of cool scenes with them. You got the Ents, which are amazing.
Oh god,
Like,
yeah.
Oh, I love the Ents. They're great. Treebeard's my favorite.
you first see the Oliphants and the Harad, and you've got the potatoes there as well.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Just
Boil them, mash them, put them in a stew.
Yep.
I mean, at the end of the day, you gotta realize you need potatoes when you're cooking a stew.
You need.
Lord of the Rings told me that.
Yeah.
So educational just as much as it is entertainment, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Tells you what to do with potatoes.
Hmm.
And when I watched it on a VHS as a kid, I watched it with the Czech dubbing, and that scene didn't make a sense at all because we don't really have like he says taters in English and then this is potatoes, which makes sense, but we don't have that kind of thing in Czech, so he just says like complete nonsense word instead of taters. That doesn't mean anything. It just vaguely sounds like potatoes in Czech. And it just makes it feel like Sam doesn't know how to say potatoes. And like that scene has like complete different meaning in the Czech. And when I watched it with the VHS, first I didn't speak English at all, and it only had the Czech dubbing on it.
Okay.
So that must have been interesting for you when you did know English and you're like, oh, potatoes.
Yeah, no, but then I was like, what does he say in the original? Because like, and then it says taters, and it all makes sense now. Why the whole scene makes sense more in English, definitely.
I mean, it's almost like they wrote it in English.
Yeah, one would think so.
That must be so bizarre for people who don't speak English. Then they just must be like, what the hell are they talking about?
Well, maybe in like other dubbings it makes more sense, but in the Czech one they did not get the meaning of a scene well, did not translate it well.
I think it really depends on not even depends on, like, it really is just a language thing, because there are certain words, phrases, and things that are very restrictive towards the specific cultures and languages. Like, something Japanese won't translate well to English, something English won't translate well to Czech, something Czech won't translate well to Sinhalese. Like, there's just it's just things are at times very much rooted within the language that they're born out of. So obviously when you translate something, it's not going to be a one-to-one, and without the context you're just going to be lost either way. So yeah,
very true.
Yeah, I agree with
the agreement. Oh no. Power.
Oh no.
So what about you, Amy? What else besides the final battle do you remember?
Or
rather, what's the things that you love most about Two Towers besides the end battle?
I don't know why I just specifically got him, because his character intrigues me. His character's extremely tragic, and it's just, don't know why, it fascinates me.
Gollum?
Yeah,
okay.
I don't know why.
Well, fair enough. I mean, he is a tragic character, so...
Is.
Yeah.
Um,
I like the Ents. I really like Pippin and Merry's like interactions with the Ents. I'm trying to remember because it's been a really long time since I've watched this one.
Um, we got the last March of the Ends, which
oh
that
Yeah.
god,
scene
yes.
I love the most as a kid when he just say it's the last March of the Ends, and they completely like destroyed the Isengard, which is like this big
Yeah,
enemy, and they just
pretty
walk through it
badass.
like it's nothing. It's like Tuesday for them.
Yeah.
It's like when they was first starting out, that March is like, oh hey, yeah, we're gonna go. Treebeard does his big roar, calling all the
Yeah.
ants. The music swells, everyone starts marching, and we're like, oh, big
You watch
battle.
that you watch that scene and you're like, I definitely want to go on a tirade and be like, save the trees, or they will stand on you.
Oh god, imagine if that did happen.
That'd be really funny. Just like, no, we need to cut the trees down, and then the tree just like is like, right, I am
Eats
sick of
you.
being cut down. I'm gonna eat you now.
It's like one thing that's always something I've always loved about the ants against the Isengard is there's this one ant that gets set on fire, and when the dam is broken, the first thing he does is just drench himself in the oncoming
Yeah,
torrent of water. And I was like, I always thought that ant is cool. I like him. He put
yeah,
himself out by doing the smart thing.
yeah.
Yeah,
Smart end.
um, oh, go on.
well, no, I just said definitely.
Okay, fair enough.
I'm just
Yeah.
silently agreeing over here.
How dare you?
Silent agreement.
um,
I'm sorry, I'll be loudly agreeing.
No, it's fine.
wonderful. What do you guys think of the Rohirrim?
Yeah,
Rohirrim.
The Horse Lords, the men of
Oh.
the army of Rohan.
Oh. Honestly, I'm drawing a blank. I don't really remember them that much, and I feel really bad now that I don't remember it. But then I do have memory issues, so
No, you don't. Not
I'm
till I
gonna
say
cut
so.
myself. Please take them away. They're really frustrating. Like I remember I was doing
Take your
a
memories
lec
away. No.
I was doing a lecture once and I couldn't remember the name of Samuel L. Jackson and I was trying really hard to talk about him and I'm like, I don't remember his name and I'm trying to. It was just
I
I was
mean,
just like,
you could
somebody
always use his
help.
credited name in Sea of Love and say black guy.
I could, but I was very nervous and I was like, I feel like if I say that, that's people are not going to know who I'm talking about.
What are you saying that there's more than one of them?
Yeah, shocking, I know, right?
Very racially charged stream this week. Wow. How dare you, David?
well, I'm just assistant David.
Okay, I'll let you off there.
Assistant David.
But yeah, Rohirrim,
Can we get an assistant Amy? I feel like I'm not
Well,
doing very good.
that would be AA.
Hey.
A double A battery, you're right.
There is another Amy on my master's degree. I'll just be like, you stand in for me.
And then you just don't tell me. And then the other
Yeah.
Amy starts talking, but with your profile, and it's like, whoa, something's different.
She's Scottish as well, I think, so that'd freak you out too.
Like,
You'd be like,
whoa.
whoa, when did your accent change?
Like, wow, you're good at impersonations, trying to be Billy Connolly and all that.
Oh, that'd be funny.
Oh, oh, Billy
I do
Connolly
like
was
it.
in The Hobbit.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
Oh yeah. So was like Stephen Fry was there, right?
This is
Is that his
true.
name?
He was the mayor of the town.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
it was.
Stephen Fry, and who else was there? Stephen Fry was there.
Luke Evans was there.
I don't remember the names. I just know
Okay.
Stephen Fry. So I'm just gonna repeat. I'm just gonna repeat Stephen Fry until someone stops me. Stephen Fry was in Hobbit. Yeah, Stephen Fry. Such a cool guy.
He is
Stephen
very
Fry.
cool.
He is. I loved
I
him in
do
V for
like Rohirrim,
Vendetta.
yeah.
Me too. He's so good in that film.
In
I
fact,
like him in pretty much everything
I
he's
just love
in.
Stephen Fry. He should be in everything.
Yeah.
I
He
like
should definitely do
I like
more
him in Blackadder.
audiobooks.
Oh,
Oh yeah, he's good in Blackadder too.
I love Blackadder.
Can we talk about Blackadder one episode?
Oh
I
my
really
god,
love it.
yes, absolutely. Oh,
Such a
like
good show.
World War One Blackadder is my favorite. I love that era.
It's so good. It makes me cry every time I watch it, but it's really good.
Yeah, it's definitely I would say the best season is the fourth one. The
Yeah, I mean,
Blackadder goes forth.
yeah, like
Yeah.
absolutely. Like the first two seasons, it felt like they were figuring things out. Then after that, they were like, right, we figured it out, firing on all cylinders. Here we go.
Yeah.
I don't say the second season's good though. I would say
Oh no,
like
like absolutely, I do. I agree with the I love the second season. Is what I mean was like they're really figuring out the characters each of them are going to be playing and what their tone is going to be with regards to the way they
yeah,
play them. That's what I meant.
yeah. Like the Blackadder was very like the first season Blackadder and the fourth season Blackadder like very
Oh
different
yeah,
characters.
absolutely.
But then
Um,
the first season has Brian Blessed in it, and
oh yeah.
Oh, it does.
I mean, even like you could even make the argument that Baldrick and Blackadder just kind of switched places by the time the fourth season started, where
Yeah.
yeah,
personality wise,
you could definitely.
Blackadder, very good show. Go watch it
Yeah.
again.
If you
Yeah.
haven't already. Oh, yeah, watch it again if you have already.
Yeah, it was very weird for me watching it because I knew Rowan Atkins only from Mr. Bean
Me
because that's like a
too.
show. That's a show.
Yeah.
That's a show you can just play on any national TV because he doesn't speak, so
Hmm.
it's universal.
This is true.
And then like when you watch Blackadder and he's like he speaks.
Like, wow, I
And
didn't realize he could speak.
yeah, no,
Yeah.
it's like he speaks and he's like very different.
Yeah.
See, I got introduced to him as the voice of Zazu in The Lion King. So for me, I was just
Ah.
like, I recognized the voice, but I
Mm.
don't know the face. I was just like, why do I recognize that voice? Because my mum watched Blackadder so much when I was a kid, so I'd watch it occasionally and not understand it. Because obviously I was a kid.
For me, it was Mr. Bean and Johnny English.
Same here.
Oh, yeah.
Literally the same order.
Yeah,
I guess it's because we were quote unquote foreign.
yeah. Rohirrim, I do like them. Yeah.
Yeah, fantastic people. Especially when it
Mhm.
got like Eomer just charging through Rohan, just killing orcs because Grima
Why
Wormtongue
not?
says no.
Yeah, it's like I like the visual style of them and they're like what they're based on. I think they did a pretty good job of like adapting that. It's like weird Norse, Anglo-Saxon, early medieval,
Hmm,
Western Europe culture mishmash in there with horses.
absolutely. And it's really cool how the armor makes like the lead characters really stand out without really blending into the environment. Like you know who Theoden is, you know who um Eomer is, you know who Eowyn is, like you know who everyone is just from the armor, and I thought they did a fantastic job with that.
Oh,
Yeah, the Lord of the Rings is like one of the best, I would say, armor in fantasy
yeah.
films
Mm.
media because it's also all functional.
Oh yeah.
What I don't
Yeah, it's not
appreciate in
like,
a lot
look,
of
here's cool armor. It's like,
It's not like Warcraft.
yeah,
yeah,
it's like it functions, and also you can tell which one's which. Pretty cool.
yeah. Rohirrims are cool. I give them my seal of approval, and
Good. Because if not, I
AD
will hunt you down.
approved.
um, yeah, Rohirrim, cool. Battle, cool. Um, okay. I'm just curious. Like, what are your guys' thoughts on Grima Wormtongue? Because I like him, despite him being like an absolute snake. But I don't know. As a character, I really like him.
he had an interesting story arc. I don't
Yeah.
know if there's like more about him in the books because I think we see him like in the middle of his story arc. That's when we like drop in as the watchers of the film.
Yeah.
But I
Um,
like that.
I feel like he functions well as a character, and I think he definitely uh lives up to his name, being a bit of a douche. But as a character, I think he works well in the story. I mean, you gotta have more than just one big bad, you know.
You have
And
to have
also, I
other
like that.
small bats.
Yeah, and also I like that it's not like as black and white. Like he's genuinely acting the way he is because maybe he's afraid.
um,
Like I don't think it's black and white that he's just evil. I think there's reasons behind why he does what he does.
oh yeah, absolutely. Like I
It's
do
like
agree. Oh, sorry, David.
it's like also because like he's one of the few like Rohirrim people. Like all of the Rohirrim guys are like these big warrior guys that like ride on horses, and there's the warrior culture in there definitely. And he's just like advisor, so maybe it's
Hmm.
he's a little bit different than the other people in
Yeah.
his nation.
It's also cool because you brought up earlier that we start right in the middle of his story, and I thought that was really interesting because even though we do start at the middle and we see all the way through to his end, we kind of know like who he was to how he ended up because like even Theoden at one point says, "Look, you were a good man of Rohan at one point, and then Saruman just kind of balked you. You turned
Yeah.
evil and tried to poison me, and now you're here." So, and then the reason why, I think it was when Eomer was threatening him in the king's hall, and then Eowyn was walking past, and he's just looking at her. It's like, oh, that's who he wants. That's why he's doing this. The motivation's there. The arc is there. Like, I mean, it's great when a minor character like Grima Wormtongue has a very thought out um, arc because
Yeah.
I actually can't remember Grima Wormtongue in the book. I remember other characters that weren't in the film though, which is really weird.
Maybe it's like compilation of all the other characters. No, like
Genuinely can't remember. Because it's been a few years since I've read them last, so like
yeah.
it's weird because in Return of the King, when Aragorn goes to the undead city, he's with his ranger bros, whereas in the film he's not. I remember that segment of the book so clearly because I loved it. Um,
Yeah,
but Grima Wormtongue, I'm just drawing on a blank.
Fair enough.
I have to say that the Rohirrim has the best soundtrack theme
Oh
though.
God,
All
yes,
the nations.
I love the Rohirrim soundtrack. Anytime the Horse Lords are on screen and the tuba, is that what it is? Like, and it
Is it
just
like a violin or something like this? Like do 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 do.
yeah, it's like every time that tune starts, I'm like, oh yes, just keep playing. I don't even care about what's on screen right now, even though that's
Just
great
play
as
the
well.
song.
Just everything about it is just fantastic. Just yes. Um, so, who's your favorite faction? Um,
Ooh,
like kingdom slash
Hmm.
warring faction. Like, who's your favorite?
I need to remind myself.
Because you've got the Rohirrim in Rohan, you've got the Gondorians, you've got
Mhm.
the elves, you've got the dwarves, you've got the orcs
Yeah.
from Mordor, and you've got the Urukai from Isengard. So 6 factions, unless you're
I say
counting
I
the
really.
Easterlings with
Sorry.
the Oliphants as well. So 7. We don't get much of the
Well,
pirates.
you have what my favorite faction also that only briefly appeared in Two Towers as a kid was the Rune, like the Kingdom of Rune, which are the
Oh.
guys that what we see walk into the Mordor, like those
Yeah.
guys with in the armor and the shields, and they look so cool. And then we
Hmm.
never see them again in any of the films.
Oh.
I don't know. Like weren't they on top of the Oliphants during?
No, that's Harad. That's a different kingdom.
Hmm.
Oh.
Yeah, you're
I
right.
did not read the books, but I do know quite a bit.
No, because the armor looks similar, I thought some of them were mixed in with them. That's what I thought. But yeah, I'm
No,
just wrong.
they're like one of the many, not many, but one of the few kingdoms in the east that like
Hmm.
you see.
Yeah, you're right. Oh, that's weird. Yeah, that's a shame. And they were a small faction as well, weren't they?
They were like a proper kingdom, and
Like,
we don't see them in the film.
um,
We
in the
see Harad.
context of the film, I mean, like they were a small faction when we see them. Like it was like a platoon at best.
Yeah, yeah, it was yeah, you could say, yeah. And we just see them walk into the Mordor, and then there's like the magic cape that hides Frodo while he's like buried
Hmm.
in the stones.
Yeah.
And
Maybe they got eaten.
Mhm.
well,
Possible. Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, they were on time for breakfast after all.
Yep.
I mean, yeah, they're like they're not the only faction that like briefly appear. There's also there's like the slave ships, the slavers or the
Hmm.
pirates or whatever they are.
Yeah, you get to
They
see them fight for a little bit though in return. I mean, not well, but
yeah
They tried, bless them.
wasn't Peter Jackson in one of the pirate slaver ships just before
yeah
they get stormed? He was the one
yeah
that got
yeah yeah
shot, wasn't he?
yeah. He was also one of the defenders in Helm's Deep.
He
He likes
was,
popping
yeah.
up in his films, doesn't he?
He tossed the spear towards the barricade, didn't he?
Yeah, it was like the shield the Uruk-hai shield
Hmm.
formation.
Okay, so this is something I noticed yesterday when I was watching Two Towers. Like, I was thinking, okay, it was cool seeing it, but I was just thinking, so you've got the explosives in the sewer at Helm's Deep, and you've got like three guys with torches right next to it, but you've got the Olympic runner doing his thing, and I was like, is that a special flame that needs it? That particular flame needs to ignite it because they've got they've got three torches right there. Like it's a cool scene, and I've got nothing against it, but that just felt a bit weird to me.
I'm gonna say it's the rule of cool.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
Like that's what I've
They're
got
like,
no
this
problem
looks
with it. I
cool.
love it.
And when the rule of cool works, I don't question it.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it was a weird thing, but I was like, oh, you know what? It was cool.
It's cool.
I'll accept it. Um, yeah, like that's the worst part, and even then, it's so cool that it's forgivable, and I'm like, oh, it's fine. Lord of the Rings is just perfect. Anyone who says otherwise is just wrong.
It is one of the best film trilogies out there.
Yeah. See, I haven't really got anything really bad to say about it, so I was like, I don't feel like I'm gonna have much to say apart from I like this, I like this,
This is
I like all of
amazing.
this.
I mean,
Watch it. This is good.
It's like when we were talking about Hill House and Blind Man. It's like this is amazing because of this reason. So
Yeah.
You only get a few trilogies like that. You know, you have your Lord of the Rings,
Yeah.
you have your Kung Fu Panda, you have your How to Train Your Dragon.
Oh god, yeah.
Oh, How
and
to Train Your Dragon is so good.
I love the ending of the third film for How to
Me
Train Your Dragon.
too. It's so
yeah,
cute.
you have just few of these like good trilogies.
Yeah. Because one way or another, the third film or the second film is gonna be weaker, and you're like,
Yeah.
like
But
The
not in Lord of
Godfather.
the Rings. I would say it's the strongest. Or The Godfather, yeah. Godfather, the second film, is probably the strongest one.
I'd say so, yeah.
I'll take your word for it. I haven't watched it in a long time. I think I've only ever watched The Godfather like once, so I definitely don't remember them.
Well, lucky for you, The Godfather Coda is coming out in a couple of days, which is
Oh.
part 3 Redux by Coppola, so
Oh.
perfect time to rewatch.
What are they going to change there? Do you know, did they say?
So there's 5 minutes of footage taken out. The opening and ending is
right.
different, and there's gonna
Okay.
be scenes rearranged and stuff like that. So
Oh,
Carpla is
Interesting.
saying it's gonna be a new experience. So hey, we'll see.
we'll
Hopefully,
see.
yeah. Um.
Factions, I think I was. I
Oh
think
yeah.
the one I like the most is elves because I find them really interesting and just kind of majestical and just like they're cool. I want to be one of those.
Which ones you have?
Hmm.
Oh,
Mm.
this is a good point. I have to narrow it down. I I'm trying to figure out a way because I'm trying to.
Because you got the Wood Elves from Lothlorien, where you Galadriel's faction, and then you
Yeah, I
got the
would
High
say
Elves
them.
from Elrond. So
From
Yeah, I think I like the Wood
Rivendell.
Elves more. I didn't really like the. I feel like the other ones
Isn't
are
there
like.
also like the other Wood Elves that Legolas is from? Because
yes,
Galadriel and Legolas are different factions.
this is true, but at the same time, in Fellowship, when they get surrounded by the elves when they enter Lothlorien for the first time, Legolas was pointing the arrows to the Fellowship because that's even though they're
Oh,
two different factions, quote unquote, like they're still part of the same woodland race, if that makes sense.
yeah.
Mm.
At least, God, from what I remember. But this is true. Kingdom-wise, there's Legolas's faction and Galadriel's faction, but at the end of the day, they're all elves and they are together, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I feel like they were the ones that piqued my interest the most, especially when I first watched them. I was like, oh my word, these guys are so cool. So, yeah. Wood Elves.
Cool. Um, David, is yours the Rohirrim?
No, it said the rune.
Oh, right. Sorry.
Then I
How
also
about
I also
you?
like the orc factions. I like which we don't see much, but I like that they had their own kingdoms, like the orcs.
Hmm.
Yeah, they're cool.
Like you had your Gundabad, which we see in the Hobbit, which are the white one.
Yeah.
Then you have the Trokushar, Naurakur, and the goblins.
Oh god.
All different factions, you know.
Yeah,
We have
absolutely.
to make it right. People need to know that there are
Yeah.
not just one orc faction, that there are
Exactly.
different cultures.
Mhm.
Okay. Not gonna
Were there
lie,
different dwarf factions as well? I can't remember.
there are.
Yes,
Yeah.
there were the Misty Mountain ones,
Mhm.
There's the ones in Moria. Then
which are
there's
Lonely Mountain. Was
yeah.
there Misty Mountains? Lonely
The Misty
Mountain.
Mountain, Lonely Mountain. No, the Lonely Mountain and the Misty Mountain are the same thing. So,
Yeah,
um,
yeah,
them. And then there's Moria, and then I'm sure there's another one.
yeah.
At least.
There is another one, but I
Memory's failing me.
there's the one that
Yeah,
shows up.
same.
Well, there's the ones that shows up in the Hobbit, the Battle of Five Armies.
Yeah,
Those
Billy
are not the
Connolly's
Misty Mountain
faction.
ones. Yeah, those are not the Misty Mountain ones. Those
I'm
are like
spacing on
another
their
faction.
name.
Billy Connolly faction.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because like
Billy Connolly dwarves.
yeah, it was the Billy Connolly faction, which I'm spacing on the name of. But yeah, because Thorin is the Misty Mountain faction, who gets axed in the Hobbit trilogy. But yeah, and then Balin was the stand-in ruler of the Moria faction.
Yeah. David, if you're watching, help us out.
Oh my
Me?
god!
What?
Yes, I
He
just noticed the
commented on
comment.
this. He's commented on the stream. So like, if he's like, and it says two watching now, and I think one of them's me, and I think the other one might be David. I don't know, but if it is,
Ah,
hello, and also help. We
there is a stream.
yeah.
Yes, It's on
Oh,
YouTube.
Oh no!
Oh, so it's
David
live.
didn't know he was being streamed. Oh no!
It's like we established this,
Surprise!
David.
Ah,
It is
It's
on
okay. I
YouTube
got
right
confused when
now.
it started happening too.
Or maybe we
Because
haven't been streaming at all, and David just kind of crashed the party.
it's nice to have a comment. We should maybe encourage people to comment more. I think it'd be cool.
I'm just gonna say,
yeah.
how dare you?
Who's that one person who's watching right now? Comment more,
Please.
please.
There we go. I just said, how dare you, with a tongue out smiley face.
How dare you?
Yeah, well, if it comes to me, it'll come to me, and if it comes to David, it'll come to David, and we'll say the dwarf faction when it comes.
It won't
Yeah.
come to me. I already know
Yeah.
that it won't come to me.
Yeah.
Well, just
I don't remember names of anything.
establish them as a Billy Connolly dwarfs. And
The Billy Connolly dwarf
The
faction.
Billy Connolly dwarfs. Okay, that works.
Yeah, I mean, you know who it is.
You can sort of tell which one's which.
Yeah. God, like, okay, so God damn it, I'm trying to think, because we've just been going off on tangents more than actually talking about Lord of the Rings, which I'm totally fine by. But
Yeah.
like with
To
regards
be fair, it's mostly we like this trilogy. It's good trilogy. Sorry
Very
for
much so.
interrupting.
yeah, watch them.
Watch
Who
them,
knows them, yeah.
absolutely. And do you know what? It really frustrates me when someone says, "Oh, hey, yeah, I haven't watched The Lord of the Rings," and when I ask them why, it's like, "Oh, I didn't like The Hobbit," and I'm like, "Just,
The Hobbit is different.
just watch Lord of the Rings, please."
I keep trying to get my mum and dad to watch it because they watched Harry Potter and they liked that, and I was like, I mean, it's not like Harry Potter. It's better than Harry Potter. That's
I
right,
couldn't-
I said it.
I couldn't care less about Harry Potter.
That's fair.
It exists.
I
But yeah, they were like, oh
I
no, we
enjoy
won't
Harry
watch
Potter, but I never was like a big Harry Potter fan. I
Like,
enjoyed them as a movies.
yeah, like,
Yeah,
I've watched them. I had fun watching them. I doubt I'll go back to them.
that's fair. I mean, it's harder to enjoy them now, to be honest. But I still like the books. Like, I enjoy reading the books to my son and stuff like that. So I probably always will have like a tiny place for it. But I think I'm definitely not as big of a fan as I used to be.
Fair enough.
So yeah.
Yeah, it's like one of those things that I read one book and then I watched the films and I didn't realize like how British it can be before
Yeah.
I moved to touch the UK. You don't get a lot of the small little things that you just like say, oh, it's just like this weird universe and this
Yeah.
magical country, and then you move to the kingdom and it's like, oh wait, it actually exists. Like
Yeah.
phone booths. We don't have phone booths in China probably for a long time, and they were using phone booths in the films. Like, that's weird.
Yeah. I can imagine like she does like J.K. Rowling does have a lot of Britishisms in there, and yeah. If you look hard enough, there are quite a few problems with it, unfortunately. But like I said, I just try to enjoy them. But anyway, back to Lord of the Rings. My point was, I was saying to them, it's better than Harry Potter. You will like it, and my parents were just like, no, and they're missing out.
It's like, you know, when you watch something when you're really young and you're like, oh, I wonder how I would feel about it now, and you worry if it'll be as good as you remember it or not. And after watching Lord of the Rings this
Yeah.
past 3 days, I'm like, no, I was wrong.
Good
They're
work.
better than I remember.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I don't watch the Sam Raimi Spider-Man.
You just want to remember them as if they were good. Yeah, okay.
Do you know what? I've never liked them. I'll
No.
say it.
I enjoy the second one
I
of Sam Raimi. I never enjoyed the first one.
I've not liked any of them, to be honest. Like, I've watched all of them. Like, I know OG David is a big Spider-Man fan, and if he's watching, he's probably like, oh my god, what? But I'm like,
Yeah, it's probably crying right now. I'm a big Spider-Man fan too, but I'm not the biggest fan of the Sam Raimi ones.
I like the new ones. I like Tom Holland
Tom Holland's great.
as
I
a
feel like he
Spider-Man.
fits
Yeah,
better.
Yeah. I feel like Tobey Maguire was a good Peter Parker, and
Yeah,
Garfield was a good Spider-Man, and Tom Holland is a good amalgamation of both.
definitely. That's why I got really annoyed when they were trying to basically force him to become the next Iron Man. I'm like, no, he's Spider-Man. Stop trying to make him into Iron Man.
But he could be Iron Man.
He could, but it would be nice if they just kept him as Spider-Man.
But
could be Iron
but
Spider-Man.
Iron Man.
But
Iron Man.
Spider-Man.
I was scared of William Dafoe from the first one
Oh.
as a kid.
He's really good as the bad guy.
I think I was scared of William Dafoe in general as a kid. So
He has one of those faces. I can see it why it's terrifying to kids. He just, I don't know, he has a grin that's
his
just
mouth
like,
is too
oh,
wide.
yeah,
It's like he could gobble you up if he wanted to.
yeah. It's like, spooky.
Okay, so David, we have been going for nearly an hour and a half. Do you have more time or?
Yeah, let's get it to 2 hours and we'll
Oh
see.
my, sweet,
Oh
sweet.
my, 2 hours. It's a baby stream for us.
That's like us halfway through usually.
Oh,
Yeah, I think our longest stream was like 3 hours and 45 minutes or something like that.
Yeah. I'm trying to think which stream that was.
Hill House.
Yeah. I mean, would you technically count Bly Manor as the longest because that was 2 parts?
I would, well, no, because you said it's in 2 parts.
Oh, fair
But
enough.
as far
Yeah,
as
Hill House.
as far
Sounds
as
about
how
right.
long we spoke about something, it's probably gonna be Blind Manor because that was like 6 hours solid of okay, we're talking about Blind Manor.
oh wow.
Yeah. We really like the Haunting series.
Oh, I don't know if that's for me. I'm just a simple boy from a
Well,
simple country.
That's
I feel
fine.
like,
Just like to
yeah,
be scared.
I feel like Bly Manor would probably be fine for you because it's not really scary, but Hill House is definitely leans more on the scary.
Blind Manor is a rom-com for all intents and purposes.
With the occasional ghost, but the ghosts aren't scary. They're just there.
They're
Like
like
Casper the Friendly Ghost.
essentially
Kind of. They're not friendly though.
Oh,
they're
so
more
like
like
this-
They're
furniture
a bit mean.
ghosts.
They're just like pissed off that the ghosts, if that makes any sense.
Oh, but Casper though, what an
Casper was a
OG.
great movie.
yeah,
That's my childhood right there.
that's amazing. Casper.
I even loved Casper 3.
I didn't
There's
watch
3
it.
of them.
There's more than
I-
3 of them, I'm sure. I just remember
watched
liking 3.
I watched the
There-
second one, but I didn't watch the third one.
There's the one in like the manor where in the end he dances with the girl.
That's the
That's the
first
first
one.
one.
Okay. Then there's the one, like a Christmas one, no? Or
Was
is
it the
it
second
the-
one, maybe?
Like-
This,
It's like
I
it's like in
don't
a
know.
little house. It's like in a normal house, normal neighborhood, I think.
I can't
Yeah,
remember.
I vaguely remember where he ended up in a neighborhood
See,
and he ends up friends with a boy or something. I don't
I'm going
remember.
back to my because I watched them on VHS at the first, from like from like the times where you had to borrow VHS, and every time went on the weekend with my dad and we went to the town, and then on the way back we went to the VHS shop where we borrow VHS, and I could borrow one VHS for the weekend.
Awesome.
We used to do the same, but with VCDs when I was
Yeah.
really young. Like, you watch half the film on one CD, and then the second half on another CD. It's like, oh.
Yeah. I feel kind of lucky because I never really had to go out and borrow films. I had to do it with video games. Like, we had to go out and we'd have to like rent a video game if we wanted to play it. But we were quite lucky. We got films.
Yes, I guess, but there's it was a ritual, which was nice. Like
Yeah.
I was standing in the same corner, and then there was like, what you had to do is there were like just the empty VHS packets, on the shelf, and you like look at it and you turn around. This wasn't like a blockbuster. This was like just a private one. Like some guy just had it.
Yeah.
We
Oh,
didn't. We
that's
never
really
had.
cool.
We never had blockbusters in Czech Republic. So you just like look at the VHS cover. It's pretty empty, but there's like a number. Like it's like a wooden sheet with a number underneath the VHS cover, and you take that number and take it to the counter, and he just gives you the VHS like in a clear bucket.
Oh,
Cool.
cool. When I was really young, it used to be like this guy in a corner shop, but instead of like food, it was movies, but with like VCDs. So it's like half the film on one disc. So like you always have to switch it over, and that's how I watched the first Land Before Time and stuff like
Wow.
that. And after that, when DVDs were more common, we started buying more. So yeah, that was really cool.
Nice.
Now we just have Netflix and HBO Go, and
Oh god,
Yep.
yeah. Wait, you
Now
guys
we
have
have
HBO
two
Go?
menus.
I do have HBO Go in Czech Republic. Yes.
I don't think we have it.
No, you have Now
Yeah.
TV.
Yeah, exactly.
We have Now TV, and that's
It's-
not great.
HBO Go is amazing. They added all the Bond films this month,
Oh, cool.
and a lot of other stuff. They have a good selection of that, and I hope that it will be like the same as HBO Max when they want to put like the Wonder Woman and Dune on it and on the other films.
Cool.
Oh, so lucky.
Yeah.
Because I was like, oh, I'll get HBO Max. You ain't getting it. Oh.
No, it's USA only, the HBO Max.
I mean, sorry,
Me-
HBO Go. That's HBO Max I know is USA only.
Yeah. Well, on one hand, like I have Netflix and HBO Go, but that's like one of the free streaming services you can have here. Then there's Amazon Prime, and I think that's it for Czech Republic, because it goes for streaming services.
I think,
Fair enough.
yeah, fair. Cool. So, Lord of the Rings is kind of
Lord of the
cool.
Rings, yeah.
It is very cool. So cool. We're running out of things to say about it.
Yeah, it's very good. Okay, do you know, part
It's-
3, Return. What's
In
your favorite
fact,
part?
King-
such a good film trilogy. I just want to say this. Sorry, can I say it?
No,
Go.
I'm not gonna.
go for it.
Lord of the Rings is such a cool film trilogy that it invented New Zealand.
This
I
is
did not know
true.
about New Zealand before.
Good point, actually.
New Zealand ceased to exist before 2000.
Before it was just Zealand. Now
Just Zealand.
Like, the only thing we know them for is Lord of the Rings and nothing else.
I
what they
think
do
my.
in Shadow.
Sorry.
Taika Waititi. He's also from New Zealand.
Oh,
He is?
yeah. Well, that's clearly as a result of the Lord of the Rings. If we didn't have that, we wouldn't have the Waititi.
Exactly.
That is, yeah.
So what were you going to say, Amy?
I was gonna say, I think my favorite part is the part where Sam basically helps Frodo destroy the ring, and
Oh, the
then
carrying part.
and then Gollum gets tossed in there as well. It's like
Uh,
it's very tense and it's very cool, and I'm like, I'm living for this drama.
oh, yeah. And then, go on,
I have
David.
multiple favorite parts in Return of the King. Like the most obvious one is like the Rohirrim charge. That's such an epic scene.
Yeah.
Then
Well, the fighting scenes are really good in this.
yeah, then all like the Gimli scenes when they go to like the ghost people. I
Oh,
don't
yeah,
remember
the Undead
names.
City, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh.
and there's like the little hands going from the smoke, and Gimli's just like to blow them off with the bread.
Yeah.
And just like these little gags that Gimli has throughout the film. And
I love the drinking game
also-
between him and Legolas after
Yeah.
the Two Towers battle.
he has a lot of good gags in this film, and I like them. And also my probably most favorite is like the extended scenes is when Sam and Frodo are in the Mordor, and they are like get like drafted in the orc regiment because they have the clothes on. Because it shows the organization, and like it shows like little bit of like tents the orc heads there, and that they were actually in regiments and everything, and they had like sergeants and a guy and the inspection. Like that
Yeah.
scene, the inspection scene is my favorite scene probably from the film.
Do you know what? Like, it's been so long since I've seen the theatrical cut. I thought that part was in the theatrical cut.
It was not.
No, apparently not.
Because I remember most of what wasn't in it, but I just always assumed that was in it. But yeah, you're right. I love that scene as well.
Yeah.
Especially when Frodo goes, "Hit me, just hit me, cause a fight."
Yeah.
And I love that like all the orcs have like super thick English accents.
They do.
It's like all the orcs are from London, so
They're all cockneys.
I mean it's not too far off. So yes, this is an anti-London stream.
No, it isn't.
So was that it, David, or were there other things that you really liked as well, like
Oh
top
yeah,
tier?
also the scene where some like the scene before when they like capture Frodo and they're in a tower, and then like the Morgul orcs and the
Yeah.
Kiritongol orcs, yeah.
and the Kirit-Ungol orcs. Yeah, now we see orcs have different cultures. I said it before. And
Yeah.
Yeah, because you've got Minas Morgul, which is run by the Witch King, and then you've
Witch
got
King of
Kiritongol, which is a different district, and then
yeah,
you've got
they're different build orcs. Like the Kirit-Ungol are the big ones, and the Morgul ones are like the.
but there's definitely
green.
hierarchy between them.
Yeah, so where there's like this brawl between them, and then when Sam just like that scene on the stairs when there's the shadow of him, and he's like doing that war.
And then when they realize it's Sam, they start charging, and he just kills them anyway.
And he just kills all and just says, "That's for my old man, and that's for Frodo." It's amazing.
Yeah.
Sam's so good. I have to say, Shelob terrified me when I first watched this. I was like, "Whoa, no!" And that's a big note from
spiders
me.
to begin with, so
yeah, I absolutely hate Shelob.
I always respect Sam for having the balls to go off with Shelob, because I'll be like, "Nope, you can have Frodo. I'm out. Screw Middle Earth.
I'll be like,
bye.
Enjoy."
Yeah, I can take Nazguls, I can take orcs, but like
I'll take on the Balrog if you want.
Slightly bigger spider. Then like that's like a bigger than a half of my palm. No, I'm out.
Yeah, bye.
Literally, I'll stand up to the Balrog if you ask me to, but spiders, nah, I'm out.
Yeah.
That's why I'll never go to Australia.
Yeah, I'm kind of I don't want to go. I'm good.
Like,
I have family in Australia, but I'm just like, nah, you guys can keep your tarantulas. I
mean, never mind spiders. They've got birds that can kill you, so I'm good. Like, Australia's
got
scary.
Everything that can kill you.
Everything kills you in Australia.
Yeah.
Even the ground.
Yeah, the ground's just like, you dead now.
And the sun.
It gets everywhere.
Yeah.
Coarse and rough and irritating.
That's my favorite quote from Shrek.
Yeah.
Get out of my swamp. The sun gets everywhere.
Hey.
Oh.
Man, do you know what? Wonderful. I haven't seen Shrek in so long. I'm so ready to watch them again.
That's one. I'm gonna argue that's one of those trilogies as well, but not so much.
It's not trilogy anymore, is it?
It's not. But like, even the fourth one's good. I didn't like it when I first seen it in the cinema, but then I watched it again this year, and I enjoyed it. It's a good film.
I will say 1 and 2 were great. 3, not so much. 4, I thought was fine. I didn't like 3 at all.
I enjoyed 3 because of like the jokes that reference other stuff. And I enjoy it as a whole body of work, Shrek.
Yeah. My favorite is 2 though. I love Shrek 2. That is top tier
It is definitely,
film.
yeah, it
Two
is
is
the best one.
great. The game was bad though. Oof.
I didn't play any of the games.
Yeah, don't. It's fine. You're not missing much. They're
Yeah,
broken
me
as all
neither.
heck.
Oh, interestingly enough, seeing as Shelob was brought up, Montreal Games did the fascinating thing of making Shelob like a full-fledged woman in Shadow of War. And I was like, oh,
Yeah,
Really?
I've
okay.
played that.
Oh, I have to. I just recently got that game, so I'm excited now.
I haven't finished it, but I played it for a bit.
Yeah.
Also, see, love the orcs there as well.
Oh, yeah.
All they've also still keeping the Cockney accents.
I actually really love the nemesis system that those two games have, because like if you get killed by an orc, that orc gets promoted to like a proper villain, and I'm like, oh my god, this is so
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
remember that from the first game. I remember being like, "That's cool." I also that orc needs to die now.
But in the second one, you can recruit them now.
Yeah, you can
Can you?
create
That's
your own
cool.
orc faction, yeah. It's great.
That's so neat. I'm excited. I just started playing Bloodborne finally,
I
though, so I may
saw.
never.
Whereabouts are you?
I'm still kind of at the start.
Oh, Central Yarnum still. Okay,
Yeah.
which lamp did you get to?
I'm still on the second lamp, I think. I keep getting killed by a group of people because I'm not used to everything yet.
So just past the ladders.
Yeah,
Oh, okay, I know where you are.
fun times.
Like, I've played Bloodborne so much, I can tell you exactly how to get from Yosefka's clinic all the way to Gascoigne just from memory, using 3 different routes.
Well, don't tell me because I want to figure it out by myself, but I may be on this game for a while.
I mean, my first playthrough took me like 25-30 hours, so you should be fine. And that's me having never
Fair.
played a Soulsborne game before.
Yeah, this is my first one. I've never played any before.
It should take you 25-30 hours, you'll be fine.
Yeah. Once I get used to it, I mean, I'm surprised, like, I didn't die that much when I, like, finally figured out how to fight. It's just now I'm getting...
Slowly chip away at them, that's the best way to do it if you're still starting out.
Yeah.
David.
I accidentally alerted them by shooting at them by accident. I was like, oops.
I mean, you could do that too. Have
You
you
could,
played?
but it doesn't work.
Have you played Bloodborne, David?
No, I didn't play any of the Souls-like games.
Okay, fair. Are you?
It's not my cup of tea.
I was just going to ask. Fair enough. Fair
Yeah.
enough. Yeah, not everyone hates themselves, so it's fine.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think I play any other one. I just really like Bloodborne for the whole, like, aesthetic and, like, world, I guess.
That's fair.
That one, that's the only one that's really, like, interested me. Like, the rest of them, I'm just kind of like, okay, they exist.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough.
Anyway, Lord of the
So
Rings.
yeah, something about
Lord of the
a
Rings.
king returning. Okay, so this is something I hear a lot of people say, and I do not understand it. But what do you guys feel about the ending of Return of the King? Yeah, like the multiple endings,
I
Which
don't
quote
have
unquote.
an issue with it.
It's like 10 endings.
Yeah,
Like, there's like it's half an hour of endings, which I love.
I know, I
Like,
love
the
them
last half an
too.
hour is just endings.
But
And
it's good that it ties everything up, pretty much.
yeah, and it's like every time I've seen criticism videos on Lord of the Rings, it's like, oh, the endings that go on forever, and I'm like, they're wrapping a 10-hour story, dude. Give them the 20 minutes they need, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I always cry at the like when he says, "My friends, you bow to no one."
Oh
That's
my
when I
god,
cry.
that is
And
just yes.
I cry during a lot of moments through the trilogy.
Oh, me too.
And
Like,
you can ask my girlfriend who will be on this podcast, which I will not say the name to not spoil it, because I want you have the privilege of introducing her.
oh my.
But if you ask her, because we watched it last year together, the trilogy, and she can probably tell that I did cry a lot.
Oh,
Oh, I cried through so much
that's
of
cute.
it. Fellowship, I was
I'm not
crying.
ashamed of it.
Yeah. Like, Fellowship, I was crying. Two Towers, I was crying. And, like, Return of the King, the last 20 minutes, and, like, 10 minutes afterwards, I was just crying. I was just like, yes. Like, it was so good. Why couldn't writing be this good all the time?
I know.
Yes. I don't know.
I feel like writers are just getting lazier as they're going. Like,
These days, especially.
definitely. Like, stop being lazy.
Yeah, writers do better job.
Do better.
Bastards. um. Yeah, like, it's.
Or, give us jobs. We can write things. We're good at writing.
Yeah, and you know
I'm
what?
not.
Pay us half.
Yeah.
Don't give me a job writing. I'm bad at writing.
No. Oh,
Okay.
don't worry.
You can
You are my
film
visual
the
effects
stuff
artist.
that we write. There you go. You can do the VFX for it.
Yeah, that could work.
Yeah.
Sorted.
So we know what we're doing next. We're going to be making a film and you're going to do the VFX work for us.
Yeah.
That's my food.
Ooh.
I'm a very busy man.
Well, that's all
Well,
right.
when you're not busy.
I'll buy you
No, it's
one
just
day.
I had a lot of work. I had like during the COVID, I had more work than before, and I still do have quite a bit of work. I'm not complaining.
Fair enough. I mean, at least you still have a job, which is fantastic to hear.
Yeah.
Unlike
That's
a lot of people
definitely
these
a good
days.
thing. Yeah, a lot of people are either stuck working from home or don't have jobs anymore because they can't do the jobs. Which is a
Yeah,
bit lucky.
I have to say I got pretty lucky, like this time.
Yeah.
Hopefully, when the
Lord of the
storm.
Rings, right?
Yeah. I was just gonna say, as hopefully by the time the storm passes, things will ease up and you'll still be going well.
Yeah. Hopefully.
So, yeah, like, okay, so what do you think is at the west in the elves, whatchamacallit land?
I kind of viewed it as kind of like, whatever you want it to be, because isn't it? It is kind of like dying, am I right? I can't remember properly.
Like, as far as I understood it, it is kind of like a metaphorical heaven that they're going to, but that's kind of
That's what
why that's kind of why I asked it, because like Gandalf kind of answers it during the battle for Minas Tirith when Pippin was like, oh, like, can't believe it's gonna end like this, and he's like, oh, it's not so bad, there's white sandy beaches, there's green all over the place, people are having fun, that kind of thing. So like, he does kind of explain it, but I just wanted to see what you guys thought it was.
I thought it was
Yeah.
just like a very like elf place where they're like, it's like Rivendell but big.
Yeah. That's
Like,
what I thought as well. So
yeah, but they just like live forever. They're not bothered.
I mean,
That
it's
is
called
like
the
that is
Undying
the story
Lands.
though, isn't it? Like, sorry, you go.
It's alright, I was gonna say, because it's called the Undying Lands, so it's kind of easy for it to seem like, oh, they're just going to a place where they never die. It's in the title.
like Liverpool.
You live in a pool.
Yeah. True, they are going to the Undying Lands, and that's why, like, I kind of really like Elrond's story arc as well, especially when it comes to Arwen, because like he's like, okay, go to the Undying Lands because then you'll be able to live, and she's like, no, I want to stay here, and it's like, oh, for God's sake, girl, just do it. I
Yeah,
want you to
just go,
live.
dude.
I don't want to go. I met Viggo Viggo. I've
Viggo
met him.
Mortensen.
He's a pretty man.
Mortensen.
Morgan.
I've met Morgensen.
We know who you
I've
mean.
Aragorn.
That guy.
Yeah,
I've met him, and he's a pretty good guy. So
he's a very pretty
I
man.
don't want to go.
Hmm.
He is a conventionally handsome
He
dude.
is.
Very much so.
He's very nice to look at.
And you've got Orlando Bloom next to him as well, playing an elf.
Honestly, so is Liv Tyler. So
Hmm.
Bloom, yeah,
And you've got Hugo Weaving playing an
And
elf.
Gimli.
and Gimli.
And Gimli playing an elf. Wait, be right. Anyway.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. Back to the point I was making. Because of the fact that they brought such an emphasis on the Undying Lands, I thought it was really cool that Elrond was just so determined to make sure that his daughter lived that he kind of like wasn't thinking about what made her happy or what she believed in. It was just like, I gotta keep something else. And then by the time Return came along and she was like, nah, Dad, I'm staying with Viggo. It's like, okay, let me remake the sword for you so you can stay alive, kind of thing.
Dylan, I
So-
think you're breaking up a little bit.
God.
Oh, so it's not my connection. Okay.
No, I think the connection's being.
Oh, how about now? Can you hear me? Can you hear me
Yeah.
now?
Yeah.
Oh, wonderful. You can hear me. Woohoo!
Who?
So when did I start cutting up?
That's a good question. I can't remember.
Hugo viewing. He wanted the daughter to go.
Oh,
and
okay,
he wanted
so-
Oh yeah,
any
Viggo.
cost.
Jesus, yeah. So he wanted to keep his daughter alive at any cost, to the point where he wasn't really listening to
Damn it!
her.
It did it again.
Why? It's saying I have a good connection. Maybe
Yeah, it's up now.
now? How about now? Hello.
Yeah, no. Yeah, I can hear now.
But 2 hours, we were fine. Why
Ah.
now?
I don't know. It's just like now is the time to break everything up.
Oh. Okay, well, do you know what? Absolutely know what? Okay, let me see.
It's still not good.
Better?
I can hear you.
Oh, well,
As-
I heard a big bang. What did
Yeah.
you do? Did you
Things-
kick something?
things are falling.
Oh no.
It's like when the
It's all
rock
falling
giants were
apart.
playing in The Hobbit. Like, things are just going all over the place at the
Eh.
moment. Now? Better?
Yeah. We'll tell you if it's not good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm happy with you telling me I'm not good. Okay. Good. So is there
Good.
anything specific that you guys want to say about how you feel towards Lord of the Rings? Maybe how it changed you, helped you in any way?
Now it's breaking up again.
Yeah. Damn it.
Oh, okay.
Anything specific towards Lord of the Rings that I could.
Oh, I lost you guys now.
Oh no. No, we just stopped
no.
talking while you were talking.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. How about now?
Can you hear me?
I guess like it has a very special place in my heart because it's the thing that made me sort of discover something about myself that I didn't previously know.
Sweet. And David?
It's they're my top favorite films. Like when someone asks me what's my favorite films, I don't say Lord of the Rings because they're like way above my top favorite films. They're just something bigger for me. I don't think I did justice how much I like the films on this podcast because I like to express myself by not expressing myself much. So yeah, I do like them a lot. They definitely were a big part of my life, and they're the VHS that I watched most. The Two Towers, Two Towers and Clone Wars. I don't know why the second film's always in the trilogy. They were the only ones I had, except for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles as well.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Also
good
the
choice.
second one, the Secret of the Ooze.
Oh, nice.
Cool.
But yeah, Lord of the Rings are like big part of my life, and I want picture of Peter Jackson in our future house, and I'm not allowed
Oh.
yet.
Yet.
I do
I am
remember.
kind of allowed. I have to. Yeah, I am kind of allowed. It's still in the talking.
If you ever get that,
We're jumping 2 years in the future now, so
Oh my, there's a date.
oh wow,
2
I don't even
years.
have a date. I just know I'm getting married at some point, possibly.
Oh my god, am I the only one here that's single?
Oh, I think so.
Hmm.
I don't know about other David.
Well, he better
yeah, I'm
be.
just the assistant David. just a reminder for the listeners.
He has to be single. What if he's not though? What are you gonna do?
I will hunt him down. Just like Liam Neeson from Taken.
Fair enough.
Um,
Nah, there's no. I mean,
no, I know there isn't, but you know.
you don't have another person you have to worry about, so there's that. Or I say have to. You don't have another person that you will worry about, I guess.
Yeah.
And,
Oh, well.
and you don't have to share your stack of baguettes.
You don't have to share your food or your pizza.
do you still have your stack of baguettes?
I mean, I don't share food anyway, so it's like what you get served is what you get kind of thing.
That's completely fair.
Like, I'm like Joey Tribbiani from Friends. Like, nah, sharing food, nah.
Nah.
Like, once it's on the plate, it's mine.
That's completely fair. Oh no, I think the stream stopped.
It says it's alright on my end.
Yeah, it's working again now. It just stopped for a second now.
Okay. Cool. As long as it's going, I think I found an ideal place, so that's good. Right, sweet. And yeah, Lord of the Rings, my favorite film trilogy of all time as well. So, in fact, if I consider them as one whole big, gigantic film, like 10 hours long, I'd say it's my favorite film of all time. Absolutely love it. Have done since I was in my single digits, and my goodness, it's influenced so much about what I like and what I dislike in media. So, big yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it is one of those films that like you form you if you let it form you.
Yeah.
And I was going to say, before I was so rudely cut off by the internet, that you mentioned that you probably didn't do a good job articulating how much you like it. I mean, to be fair, it is your first time in a podcast, so
yeah.
Maybe you're just not used to it or anything like that. But I mean,
who told you it's my first time? How do you know all those informations about me?
I mean, it's almost like I know you. It's like we've spoken before. It's weird, isn't it? I mean, I know.
It's almost like we've met before somewhere.
I know.
It's shocking.
But it can't be, because we only exist in the podcast. We don't exist anywhere else.
Yeah, we don't exist outside. Like, there's no way we could know you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like we started the stream, I came into existence, Amy came into existence, and David transformed into another David.
Yeah. Assistant David.
Assistant David.
Oh my god, imagine when we get to like number 50 of what we watch and we've got this deep lore about David shapeshifting back and forth.
Yeah. Oh my god, it'd be so good. And then we end up getting merch, and we have merch that says AD, Assistant David.
Like OD, Original David, or AD, Assistant David.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
Cool. Well, Amy, I think you got to trademark that one considering that was your idea.
Yeah, oh, definitely. I think I've been spending too much time around Ryan, because like when Ryan's my partner, by the way, David, and he streams on Twitch, and basically he's best friends with a band called Reaper, and every time he streams, he says buy merch. So I think it's just ingrained in my head now.
Buy merch.
Buy merch. Do it
Buy
now.
merch.
I know we didn't really talk much about Lord of the Rings because we just kept on going off on tangents. But anything you guys want to talk about in particular?
I don't mind.
No, like, is there anything particular you'd like to talk about with regards to Lord of the Rings? Because I'm feeling like we've kind of tapped out because we're constantly diverging.
We are.
Yes, well, that's life, you know.
Yeah.
You never know how it's
don't
gonna
know.
go.
True. I don't know what else to say other than I love these films. I will never stop watching them. Like, I will keep rewatching them, and they're 2 hours, actually extended 4 hours. And normally I have a hard time sitting through films that long, but I have no problem with it with these. So, yeah, I love them. I want to give them a hug if they were a person.
Yes, you do.
Yep. I guess I could pick the DVD up and hug that.
But you got the Hobbit, don't you?
I'm not hugging the Hobbit. Maybe put the Hobbit in the bin.
David, any final thoughts? Because I think we've kind of reached a natural conclusion somehow.
Yeah.
Oh well, that's
almost
what
never
happens. Really? Oh well, I guess it's the Assistant David magic.
Assistant David is a good luck charm.
Conclusion. Well, final thought. I mean, it's if you haven't watched Lord of the Rings, I mean, what do you think? What do you do with your life?
What are you doing with your life if you haven't watched
lived.
these films?
Get your life together. Watch Lord of the Rings, and start from there. Like,
yeah, man. Like,
that's the key to happy life.
Life starts with the Lord of the Rings, you know.
Yeah.
Then just go dive into Peter Jackson and what kind of a weird person he is, and
like literally dive into him, find him, and then dive onto him.
Go to. It's not hard to find him. Go to New Zealand,
and then rugby tackle him.
No, you just go to Veta Studios because he's there. That's his studios.
He dwells there, like Schmeagol.
Yeah, it's his precious.
He dwells there, working on, producing films like Mortal Engines, and it's there.
Yeah, I can just imagine Peter Jackson being like Schmeagol in a cave, but with Weta Studios.
Yeah.
He is like his filmmaker.
Just stroking the wall like my precious.
I admire him for a lot of things he did, like in his filmmaking, because he built like a lot of his film, like except for the camera, he built his own Steadicam for his first film, and he physically made a lot of masks and all the special effects and weapons and everything. He's a pretty amazing dude.
Absolutely.
Watch Lord of the Rings and then read more about him. That's my life advice.
And if you got the box set, watch the making of videos.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do that.
And if not, a lot of them are on YouTube.
This is true.
You can find most things on there.
And watch the prank they did on Elijah Wood, the fake interview.
Right, well, I think that kind of sums everything up, really. Lord of the Rings,
Yeah.
amazing,
Mhm.
fantastic. Who knows? We maybe revisit Lord of the Rings sometime in the future, talk more
Yeah,
in
just
depth about it. Who knows?
just to give original David some time to talk about his thoughts too.
Yeah.
I mean, if he ever comes back on, who knows?
I'm sure he'll be
He
back.
might be banished into the Nether Realm.
No.
The Netherrealm. No, that's a name I haven't heard in a long time.
I know, right? Like Mortal Kombat OGs and all that. Like playing cards with Scorpion and all that.
And all that.
Are we gonna do recommendations then?
Oh, why not? David, what would I mean, I think we're kind of steadfast in you saying
We should
watch
we
Lord of the
should
Rings.
Well, yeah, but I mean, like sometimes what we like to do is take maybe like actors or the director and recommend like any other films that the director's done or any other films the actors are in.
Oh, okay. Well, that's easy. Watch Bad Taste, the first film by Peter Jackson.
Bad Taste. Cool.
It's a good film about I mean it's a it's an exploitation film. It's very violent, but it's fun, and you will see that there's like that's where it starts for Peter Jackson as cameoing in as multiple characters in a film, because
Oh,
he plays like 2 characters or 3 characters there, I think,
cool.
mainly because of financial reasons.
as it usually is. Cool, cool. Bad Taste. And me?
Um, I'm gonna recommend The Faculty to anyone's not seen it. It's like a B-movie horror sci-fi where like basically the teachers in a high school are all secretly aliens disguised as teachers. It's pretty cool, and it's got Elijah Wood in it.
Cool, cool. And I'm gonna recommend Peter Jackson's The Frighteners with Michael J. Fox.
I love that film. It's so good.
Me too. A bit of pre-Lord of the Rings work, and it was very, very fun. Involves ghosts, Michael J. Fox being a ghost hunter,
Such a
and
goofy movie.
a lot of shenanigans in between. So then,
All of his films, like Lord of the Rings, are very goofy.
yeah. And then we
The
got
Faculty is pretty goofy. It's kind of funny in places too. But that's not Peter Jackson. But it's still funny.
but it has
It's
Frodo.
Jack Peterson.
Jack Peters.
Has Frodo in it.
Yes, so one of the shorter podcasts as of recent, but
Yeah.
we hope you enjoyed it regardless. Now,
Yep.
next week we may or may not be talking about something with possibly a guest. Who knows? Maybe. I mean, anything could happen. So,
Ooh.
thank you anyone who has been watching up until this point in the stream, and I hope you have a good week ahead of you. So, ta-ta, cheerio, bye-bye.
Yeah.
Yeah, watch Lord of the Rings.
Yep. Watch Lord of the Rings.
Watch it now. Right now.
Right now. Go watch it. Bye bye.
Okay, bye.